Welcome back. You're still watching Fut-Afrique. It's that part of the show where we get you out of your misery and we reveal to you the answer to this week's trivia question. However, I don't give you the answer. It will be given to you by my esteemed colleague, Jessica Bakama-Songomo. Hey, Mama.
Hey, Mama. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Alrighty, let's just recap the trivia question from the week. It is, how many hat-tricks has Barbra Banda scored at the Olympic Games?
You know, when I speak about Barbra Banda, I get goosebumps. And she's one player who makes me feel like maybe back in my days, I could have tried to kick a ball because I'd probably be doing exceptionally as she is.
You reckon? But you're not a Banda, so I have more chance than you.
Okay, shade. Too shade. But to get people out of their misery, she scored 3. So 2 in 2021 in Tokyo and 1 in 2024 in Paris.
Well, there you have it. 3 hat-tricks. That gives you what? 3, 6, 9 goals.
Bona.
Nazo. Probably with other single goals around.
Exactly. But I mean, scoring 3 hat-tricks.
Yeah, insane.
At the Olympics.
Insane. Well, there you have it. If you didn't know, well, now you know. That's the answer to this week's trivia question. Make sure that you come back next week because we will have another question lined up just for you. Talking about Barbra Banda, she's shattering ceilings and we are here for it all. We're here to celebrate her as out in the NWSL. She surely has picked up yet another accolade.
As an African person, you can only be proud of her performance and all the accolades that she's collected throughout her career. And this speaks about the consistency. If you know Barbra Banda and you know about her journey, starting as a young girl who started kicking the ball in the dusty streets of Zambia to what she's accomplished now, it's remarkable. Winning the BBC award, you know, winning the first trophy, Pride, up against like greats, you know, somebody she looks up to, Martha, who's spoken so well about her performance. I'm super proud of her, and I think this is really, really good silverware for her to celebrate.
Yeah, Orlando Pride, Shirley, her name is engraved there for years. The kids in the future will definitely know about Barbra Banda, and she surely will always have a home there. But you can't talk about one African who's doing phenomenally within this respective league and leave out the Chawinga sister.
Whew. Now her, that's another different conversation because I'm just like winning 2 awards in such a top club, in such a top league. And I mean, she broke Sam Kerr's record in being, you know, with the most goals, 20 goals in one season. And we saw at the beginning of the season, she had scored almost a goal for the first 10 matches in that league. It speaks volumes about the kind of work that she's doing. And also for her, I think her name is going to be engraved for very long. I think Kansas City's like, this is probably one of the best signings we've actually made. I'm super proud of the sisters.
Well, it's exciting to see as to what Barbra Banda and Chawinga are doing for women's football on the African continent. It can only grow further and bigger from here. Now, talking about them, let's talk about the Africa Cup of Nations. It's around the corner and South Africa's Banyana Banyana now have an opportunity to defend their title.
Whew. Nerves, nerves, nerves. I mean, given the performance that we gave at the last one and still holding the title of being the African champions, I think this is going to be one that's putting a lot of pressure for Banyana Banyana. But just let's look at the groups. So we've got 3 groups, Group A, Group B, and Group C. In Group A, we're looking at Morocco, Zambia, Senegal, and DR Congo. Group B has Nigeria, Tunisia, Algeria, and Botswana. And in Group C, South Africa, Ghana, Mali, and Tanzania.
You talk about South Africa, and I'm expecting the African champs to cruise.
Yes. I think in the group that they have been placed in, it's not a very difficult group. If I'm looking at the group of death, it will definitely be Group A with Morocco, with Zambia. We saw their performance in the under-20 space. You might be seeing some introduction, you know, of new players coming into the senior team. And we know with this kind of tournament, you are going to see Abu Barbra Banda. Your Rachels are going to be coming through. They're going to be pulling all the guns. So it's going to be...
in conjunction with what we saw at Kosafa.
Exactly, in conjunction to what we saw in Kosafa. So basically the ammunition is going to be very electrifying. But I think group stages, South Africa perhaps sits at a better advantage compared to the other teams like Nigeria and Tunisia also is also a tough group to be in.
You talk about that draw. I just want to take you back to the main event. Andile Dlamini was one of the players who was there conducting the draw. How do we feel about that? And also just what a prominent figure she's becoming when it comes to South African football.
I absolutely love it. And let me say, I think Andile Dlamini has cemented herself in the KEF space so well. She's one person that's really celebrated. And I think they really highlight her performance on and off the field. I think that spoke volumes for her as well, given that we saw Mamelodi Sundowns, you know, leaving the competition very early.
So,
you know, we still have to do something with you. But I think she really has that in her CV, because I think this is one of the best moments for her to be considered as one person that can come through and be part of such a wonderful moment. I'm super proud of her.
This is when I normally say that many are called, but a few are chosen. I think she's one of those in a generation that will stand out, and it's
and you know, when you vocalize yourself, and that's another thing about athletes, you know, Andile is always the one that's doing interviews. She's always putting her hand up. She's always like engaging. Her talkability on social media and all media spaces is another reason why she's pulled into this opportunity.
So that's the blueprint.
Yeah, that's the blueprint.
Invite me for your next interview. I will honor the invite. But we can't say goodbye without touching on the CAF Women's Champions League. TP Mazembe, from their first game, were dominant. They played up against AS FAR on the group stages. AS FAR pulled a comeback, and then they were like, okay, we'll meet again in the final.
Absolutely shocking, because people are goosebumps. I'm super happy for them. First time lifting the CAF trophy, and who would have imagined that TP Mazembe is definitely going to walk away with it. But I think all the teams that have won it before, maybe they've gone into a bit of a relaxation mode, that the teams that wanted so bad have really proven and shown themselves, and TP Mazembe has exactly that, the consistency from the start up until the end. The running, I think they gave a stellar performance throughout, and I'm super proud of them. I couldn't have picked a better team.
Well, there you have it. CAF Women's Champions League has been won twice by Mamelodi Sundowns, one by AS FAR, and now TP Mazembe have their name engraved on the silverware. Jess, this has been absolutely amazing. You and I do it again next week. But as I said, give us a blueprint and so invite me for those interviews. My name is Itumeleng Banda. This has been another insightful episode of Fut-Afrique. Thank you for choosing us. Let's do it again next week. Au revoir.